Good afternoon, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Nick's Veggie Patch. So I've got a couple of days holiday, and I've decided before I go away on holiday for a few days, I've decided to do a video about what I'm planning to do over the next few days in my garden, which is now Nick's Veggie Patch, and some of the items I'm going to show you and what they're going to be used for. I'm also going to show you an item that I have been sent from a company called James. They are in the Kitchen Garden magazine, which I subscribe to, get a copy each month, and they are basically suppliers of fruit and vegetable cages and the nettings to go with it. So I'm going to show you a sample that I requested that I'm going to give a try on Nick's Veggie Patch, and it is horticultural netting. So I'm going to be giving that a try. I'll show you the sample. I'll show you what it's going to go round. So there is obviously lots to be getting on with. So I will come back to you guys in a short while and discuss what we're going to be doing. So guys, this is the horticultural netting. It looks very good on first reflection, and the company that it's from, it's obviously from James, but when I received it today through the post, the letter said Huck Nets Limited, UK Limited. So I'm going to give it a try. I did, when I spoke to them over the phone and through an email, say that I would be talking about this on my next YouTube video. So this sample is 1 meter by 1 meter, and it's going to be going on to a little structure that I made, which is obviously here. This did have green netting on it originally, if you saw my latest video, but because I hadn't drilled the holes in the right place, these sort of poles, one of them had snapped, so I've had to remeasure it, drill the hole again, and I had to take off the netting. But when I saw the advertisement in the Kitchen Garden magazine, I thought I'd take a look. I gave them a call and asked them if they could send me a free sample. Now, when you go onto their website, it does state for their horticultural netting, it's £1.09 per square metre. So I've got for the sample. It looks really good. It's quite durable, so there is a bit of give on it, and the good thing about it is it stops all those insects you don't want getting at your vegetable plants or even maybe your flowers. It stops them from coming in. It is breathable, and you can also water through it. Now for me, that's really good, because if I want to, I can water through it, or as this is just going to be sat on top of the raised bed I'm putting this on, I can just literally lift it off to water and also to harvest the vegetables that I've actually got in the raised bed. Now the raised bed that is going on has one already in the green netting, but that netting isn't, obviously it's not like this one, so you can see right through it. It's very fine mesh, but things in my opinion can still get through it. And obviously I'm using it up from when I had it at my allotment. Obviously I don't have that anymore, so it's come off of stuff that I put together to make for bigger sort of raised beds. So there's a few holes, but I've managed to patch them up for now, so I'm going to give this a try. This should go over what I've just shown you, so hopefully we'll give it a go at some point. I was going to try and do it today, but it's pissing down with rain out there. I can stand under my patio. I've got a patio with a porch, so I can stand under there, put this netting on, give it a try. But yeah, it looks good to me. As I said, it's 1 metre by 1 metre. On their website it says it's £1.09 per square metre. So I'm going to give it a try, see what it looks like. If it is any good, then I'm going to buy some more of it. And then hopefully, obviously, if I can, and they'll allow me to show them my tiny little video on it, I will do. But yeah, it looks good to me. So I'm going to give that a try and see what it looks like. Also, I've got other things in the pipeline that I want to do. So we had this old shelving unit in the house we moved into in 2021, and we took the old shelving unit apart this year, and we put some bits other sort of a shelving unit in its place. So most of them we threw away, but we kept that one. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn that into a potting stand. So I'm going to cut it straight down the middle, so I have 3 bars either side, and I've got some really nice chunky beams out there, a real good wood beam, and I'm going to attach them to it, use them as sort of like the legs that will join it, so it will be a top and a bottom. That's going to go in my greenhouse, and I'll use that for putting on plant trays that are that I've got seeds sowing in. It's been painted, so it's okay, it doesn't need to be painted, and it will be in a dry area, so I won't need to kind of protect that with wood sort of stain or whatever. And I'm not really bothered how long it lasts, because it was just bits of wood we were throwing out after doing a little bit of renovation work in our house. So yeah, that's going to take seed trays with seedlings in when I'm growing stuff. Coming on to seed trays and growing stuff, as you all know, I have a load of Charles Dowding seed trays, and the ones that I use are his 60 cell seed trays. I've got the 3 different sizes that you can get from his website, which he worked in partnership with a company called ContainerWise to produce them. Now, if you want to get any of the other cell trays that ContainerWise do, normally you would have to go onto their website and order them, but you would have to buy them in bulk. Well, I was looking at somebody's a fellow YouTuber's video over the weekend, last weekend, and they had a link in their description for the seed trays from Containerwise, but the link in the description was for Amazon. So I've looked on Amazon, and it looks like now Amazon now sell Containerwise seed trays. So I went and ordered a seed tray, and I'm going to show you what it's like. So it's this lovely seed tray. Now these are a very special plastic. Containerwise guarantee them for 15 years, maybe even more. Charles Dowding uses these. Another fellow YouTuber, or a couple that I know, Hugh Richards, who's got a channel, lives in Wales. He also uses these. He kind of swears by them. And another guy that I also follow, his YouTube channel is called Grow Veg. His name is Ben Van Heems. He also uses these. They've both been to Charles Dowding's Homemakers and done videos with him. So yeah, I'm really pleased with this. As I've said, it's a specially designed plastic. It's guaranteed for 15 years. And it holds 77. It's got 77 cells in it. So, but the reason I'm going to give this one a go is because it's the right height for sowing things like broad beans and peas, and also runner beans. So I'm not worried about the amount of actual cells in it, because I can divide them up between broad beans, peas and runner beans. But the price of it was really good. It was just over £12, I believe, in price. But if you actually go onto the Containerwise website, you have to buy them, I say in bulk. You have to buy a minimum of at least 5. I don't know the price of them on Containerwise's website, but this obviously was the price I got from Amazon. So yeah, I'm really happy. I'm going to give these a go, and I'm going to see how the broad beans, peas or runner beans I sow in these, how they turn out. It also means I'm going to get rid of a few seed trays, because I've got a hell of a lot. Don't always use them. They are in my storage box in my shed. So ones like these I will be keeping, as well as the Charles Dowding ones. Also, I'll be keeping my grow light ones, because as you know, I've got a load of grow light ones. I've got large and small. And then I may just keep a couple of extra trays handy. Obviously, now where I am sowing and growing from my garden, I won't need that many. I've got plans for the garden next year. So obviously this year we had problems with one of our raised beds, where I put 3 different lots of slugs out. Not slugs, sorry. 3 different lots of runner beans out, and then the slugs just literally desecrated the whole raised bed. I put 1 lot out. They were a good size. They got desecrated. I put a 2nd lot out. They got desecrated. I tried clearing the whole raised bed. I even put down slug traps to try and stop them from getting at the plants. I only watered in the morning because having watched other fellow YouTubers, they say the benefits of trying to avoid slugs is you water in the morning first thing, but try not to water at night because that is when the slugs are at their most vigorous. Also, they suggest you, if you've got the time, to go out, do a slug hunt, go to the raised beds where you think you're most affected by slugs and snails, shine your torch. If you see them on there, then you can discard them in a humane way. But I'm going to try, obviously, something different. When I went to Charles Dowding's Homemakers this year, I've been going for the last 3 or 4 years since I found out he does an open day. He suggested to put runner beans out when they were only about sort of that height. So when they were really, really young and not kind of, when I say fully developed, where the plant is fully developed, where you would get it from a garden centre and you could just whack it out. He said try and put them out when they're really, really young and find maybe other different sorts of barriers that you can to stop them. One of the barriers that I am going to try and use to stop them is this copper mesh. So I brought this off of the internet, and you basically, it comes in a roll, you cut it to size, and then you put that around the your plants, and hopefully that will deter them, because slugs, snails, they hate copper mesh or tape. Anything copper, they hate it. To them it gives off I think it's an electrical current, so it's not harmful to humans if you touch it like that, you know, but for some unknown reason, for slugs and snails, they don't like it. As soon as they go anywhere near it, only have to touch it, you see them sort of coil back. So I've already tried that out on the raised bed that has got the red kale in it. So we're going to see how that goes. But as I say, you can get that off the internet. It was really cheap, and I'm going to see how that works. So as I've said, guys, lots of things that I'm going to be doing. So obviously using my new cell tray, obviously purchased off of Amazon. But if you want the other cell trays that I've spoke about through Charles Dowding, I believe you can get them on ContainerWise, because obviously he worked in partnership with them to design them. But you can go on to Charles Dowding's website, purchase them off there, and he does other stuff you can purchase. You can also go on his courses that he does at Homemakers if you want to do a course in learning how to grow, sow, plant, all that kind of thing, learning how to make your own compost. I haven't gone on one. I would like to go on one, and maybe that'll be something for next year. So yeah, as I say, you can purchase them off of Charles Dowding's website for his ones, I believe, possibly off of ContainerWise, I'm not sure. But these ones here, obviously this came off of Amazon. They have got other ones on there, so check out Amazon. And then if you want to get them in kind of bulk, check out ContainerWise. Just take into account, you have to take into account the shipping as well, because they add that on. So yeah, I'm going to be giving that a go. And then obviously the horticultural fleece, I'll give that a go. I will put that on the cover that it's going to attach, or the thing that I'm going to attach it with, and we will see how it goes. I will give you an update in the coming sort of weeks, just to see how it's working, and if it is doing the job that I want it to do, then yeah, I'm going to see about purchasing some more. But obviously that is off of a company that is obviously in the Kitchen Garden magazine. They are right at the back in the kind of classified ads section, and it says basically fruit and vegetable cages and netting. And at the moment, if you go onto their website, you can get 10% off online with voucher code KJ2024. So obviously, because they are obviously advertising in the Kitchen Garden magazine, there is a special code that you can use to get 10% off of whatever you order. As I said, they're online, so www.wmjames.co.uk, and they do have a phone number if you want to give them a call. I will pop that on the video at the end. But yeah, so as I say, there's lots of things I'm going to be getting on with in the next few weeks. It's obviously coming to that time of year where I will sow some broad beans. I've got some that are ready to go out now that I brought from a garden centre the other day, but I've got broad bean packets here. I've got a variety. I've got the variety called the Sutton, which is good for a spring crop, and you sow them in October, December time. So I'll be doing all that, and I'll give you guys an update in a few weeks to show you how everything is going. Okay, so I've attached the horticultural fleece to this what's going to go over my raised bed. It's enough to go over this small little one. So yeah, this this test piece of 1 meter by 1 meter sample looks really good. You can see through it. You'll be able to let the water go through. So yeah, as a test piece, it looks really good for what I want it to do. If I wanted to, I could nail it or fasten it like I did with the other netting, but I think I'm just going to leave that to be fit loose over the raised bed. As I've said, I've got the copper mesh over the vegetable plants, so hopefully that will stop the slugs and the snails. But yeah, looks good to me, so I'm going to take it out, give it a try and see what it looks like. So there we have it, guys. That's the like fruit sort of cage kind of put over the raised bed now. You can see the one next to it. The netting isn't as fine as the one on the left, but they both will do the same. The other one was it's the netting I also kind of want to use because I want to kind of steer away from using that green netting. It's okay, but I prefer these two, and I say watering them should be fairly easy. So that's protecting a variety of kale called Red Monarch, and hopefully it'll do the trick and we should have some beautiful kale. Okay, so I've got the 4 big bits of wood here cut to the right size for how tall it's going to be. I've just used my normal saw to do that. I've got the wood nails there ready to use, and you can see this, you can see the wooden, what used to be a wooden shelf here. Now it's got 7 wooden slats attaching to it. They were obviously screwed in, so they are perfect, stay as they are. It's painted green. What I'm going to do is I'm going to keep 3 slats either side. I'm going to cut straight down the middle, so taking off that slat there, and then I will have the perfect sort of shelf once it's made to put some plants, put some seed trays on where I'll sow whatever particular vegetable, salad, or or plant or flower I'm growing will go on this new stand. So as you can see, it's at that stage. I'll get it to the next stage with that cut in half, and I'll come back to you and then show you the next stage after that. So I've got the wood up to the next stage now. I've cut it in half. I've got two nice pieces, 3 slats on each. All I've got to do is bang them into the wood using wood nails. As you can hear, the rain has come back. It's been on and off all day, really heavy rain. But I'll get this finished up and I'll show you what the end result looks like. Okay, there's been a slight sort of change of plan because I didn't realise, I completely forgot when I was building this, there wouldn't be a top and a bottom shelf. It would just be a top shelf, well, technically a bottom shelf where I can put stuff on there, but I was thinking kind of, I got it round the wrong way, a middle shelf as well, and then having a sturdy bottom to hold it in place. So it is finished. I had a couple of slats left over, so I put them in the middle. One of them obviously wasn't small enough, so I've taken a piece of wood that fits in there. It's a little bit bowed, but I'm not really worried about that. And that is literally going to sit probably in the greenhouse, and it will have on it a couple of trays, and then probably the bottom bit will have a couple of pots or trays. But yeah, I say it is done. It's used up a lot of wood. As you know, I like to recycle lots of stuff, so it has made use of lots of wood, and there is now wood that I can get rid of at a later date. If I maybe think about putting a middle shelf in, there is scope there to put a middle shelf in with that nice chunky wood that's holding up obviously the two pieces, so at all 4 corners. So yeah, I think it looks alright, guys. I say I'm used to recycling lots and lots of stuff. If it doesn't sit in the greenhouse or fit anywhere, it may even come into my study where I can use it to keep certain plants warm, or to give certain seeds the perfect germination start time. But yeah, there you go, guys, completely finished. Okay, it's only going to be a quick 30 seconds. I had 1 slat left over and a slat outside the front. I decided to add it to the top, so it's now got 4 slats, 5 slats instead of 3. And I decided to add some black weed cloche around the outside and the top bit, and I think that makes it look better.